Welcome to today's explainer. Have you ever had that sinking feeling at the end of the month where you look at your bank account and realize you're literally at zero again? Well, today we're diving into a really profound, honestly super relatable conversation between a young man and his grandfather, his Dadaji. The young guy basically realized that despite earning a decent salary every single month and working incredibly hard, he just kept ending up with a zero bank balance. It's a wildly frustrating reality for so many of us, right? So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to fix it by completely shifting our approach to wealth.
Okay, let's dive into this. Dadaji absolutely didn't hold back in his advice. He asked his grandson a piercing, kind of deeply uncomfortable question. If your income stopped today, how many days could you actually survive? I want you to go ahead and ask yourself that right now. You see, most of us operate under this illusion of financial freedom simply because we have a steady job. But Dadaji points out that this specific question reveals your true financial reality. If the answer makes you a bit anxious, it means you aren't actually free at all. You're entirely dependent on your next paycheck.
Which brings us to Section 1, the zero balance reality.
To really understand that cycle, we have to look at the brutal truth Dadaji shared to completely shatter it. He said, earning money doesn't make you rich. Growing money makes you rich. It sounds incredibly simple, but man, it completely shifts the paradigm. Think about it. You work, the money comes in, and then it goes right back out to cover your expenses. The average person focuses entirely on selling their time to fuel that cycle, thinking the magical solution is just getting a higher salary. But wealthy people, they actually build a system where their money does the earning for them.
Moving right along to Section 2, breaking the earning cycle.
Because the truth is, staying stuck in that zero balance reality isn't entirely your fault. There's this deep-rooted societal conditioning at play here. We're constantly told that hard physical or mental work is the absolute sole key to financial success. But Dadaji completely shatters this myth. He says, if hard work brought wealth, every laborer would be a millionaire. And this brilliantly illustrates that hard work only generates income. Yes, you need income, but it does not generate wealth. To generate true wealth, you literally have to transition from purely relying on your own labor to building a financial system that works independently of your effort.
This brings us to what Dadaji calls the middle-class mindset, which is basically selling tomorrow's freedom for today's happiness. Our society teaches us a very specific, super rigid path, right? Study hard, get a safe job, stay secure. But notice what's missing there? Nobody teaches us how to actually make our money grow. We're taught how to be safe, which ultimately just keeps us perfectly, comfortably average, while completely ignoring the actual mechanics of wealth creation.
Let's explore this further in Section 3, the tale of two earners. Imagine two boys living in the exact same city, earning the exact same salary. On paper, their financial starting line is totally identical. But the second that salary hits their accounts, their paths diverge completely. Boy 1 immediately upgrades his lifestyle. He buys a shiny new phone, gets new clothes, goes out a lot more. He kind of likes to show off. He really feels like he's growing. Boy 2, on the other hand, practices delayed gratification. Before he does anything else, he separates a portion of his income specifically to grow it. So you have two identical salaries, but two radically different mindsets. Boy 1 has actually unknowingly fallen into what we call the lifestyle trap. It's this completely invisible cycle. Basically, as his income grows, his expenses grow right alongside it. He starts taking on EMIs for cars, gadgets, vacations. He thinks he's upgrading his life, but in reality, he's actually just drowning in financial pressure. The most dangerous part of the whole lifestyle trap is that you don't even realize you're in it until you are completely stuck.
So the crucial point is how Boy 2 avoids this trap. He doesn't just save his money, he invests it. You see, saving is simply protecting your money. It's very passive. Investing, though, is putting your money to work to grow it. It's active. Boy 2 understands that just putting money in a jar or a basic bank account won't create wealth. Instead, he's actively directing a portion of his income into vehicles that will generate a return over time.
This idea leads perfectly into Section 4, money is like a seed.
Because here's the thing, when you first start investing, the growth doesn't look like fireworks. In fact, it looks like almost nothing at all. Let's walk through this timeline of compounding, because this right here is the exact phase where most people fail. Look at years 1 and 2. The growth is incredibly slow. Just like a tiny seed, the roots are growing underground, completely out of sight. This is the absolute danger zone where people give up because they don't see immediate results. But if you hold on until year 5, well, the money starts making its own money. And by year 10, the compounding effect is so explosive that your money is literally earning an amount equal to your actual salary. And when you reach that incredible 10-year mark, You cross a profound threshold in life. You literally move from compulsion to freedom. Compulsion means you're waking up and working every single day simply because you have to survive. You need that paycheck. Freedom means you're working because you actually want to. Your money is now generating enough income to sustain you. The system is finally working for you rather than you working for the system.
So how do we get there? That's Section 5, Mastering Your Financial Mindset.
Getting to that point of true freedom requires a lot more than just knowing the math. The biggest barrier between you and financial independence isn't a lack of knowledge, it's actually a lack of psychological control. Here's the crazy tug-of-war happening in your head right now. Investing is slow, silent, but incredibly powerful over time. Spending is fast, highly visible, but deeply dangerous. Our human brains naturally crave instant gratification, right? When you buy that new phone, you get an immediate dopamine hit. Investing, meanwhile, feels super frustrating in those early years. Mastering your money really means actively rewiring your brain to prefer the silent power of delayed gratification over the flashy danger of immediate spending.
And that leads us perfectly to Dada G's ultimate truth. If you control your mind, you control your money. Once you control your money, you control your life. I mean, this is the core, beating heart of our explainer today. Financial freedom isn't just a math problem, it's totally a discipline problem. The root of wealth is entirely mental, and it all starts with controlling your impulses. So how do we actually put all of this into practice? Well, Dada G broke it down into 3 highly actionable, concrete steps for escaping the middle-class trap. Step 1, have discipline. You must consistently separate that portion of your income no matter what temptations pop up. Step 2, practice patience. Remember the seed. You literally have to survive the invisible root growth of the first few years without throwing in the towel. And step 3, repeatedly put money to work. It's not just a one-time event. It's a continuous, lifelong system of reinvestment.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one absolutely critical question. Will you continue selling your time in the lifestyle trap, or will you start building your system today? The clock is always ticking, and time is the one single resource you can never, ever earn back. So, take these lessons from Dada G, shift your mindset, and start planting your financial seeds today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.